The character posters for Season 3 of 13 Reasons Why are giving us some more insight onto who may have killed Bryce Walker, so let's break them down. What's going on, you lovely people? Lisa here with yet another 13 Reasons Why decoding video for you. So earlier I broke down the Season 3 trailer, which you can find at the link in the description. Now the trailer set up the central mystery for Season 3, which is who killed Bryce Walker. Now the show returns on August 23rd, and hopefully we will get an answer, and it won't be a cliffhanger going into Season 4, because we do know we're getting a Season 4. But for now, let's take a look at the character posters and the website for the show to see if we can find any more clues as to what these characters have been up to or who could be responsible. Now, they were revealed if you visited the Who Killed Bryce Walker website listed at the end of the trailer. From there, you were then part of an interactive experience where you call Sheriff Standall and tell him who you think killed Bryce, and there's lots of characters to choose from. Now, with each choice that you make, the Deputy Standall gives his opinion on that choice and whether it makes sense or not. And then we hear that Mrs. Baker is on the phone for him, so it seems like Mrs. Baker will still be around or have a presence, which is probably why she's on the suspect list. Now, after you click a character to throw under the bus here, you get their photo, but more interestingly, you get to see how many other people who were on this website thought that person was guilty. And from me choosing almost every character there, it actually turned out that Mrs. Walker, Bryce's mom, killed her own son. Now, was it either on purpose or by accident? We don't know, but it seems like she may be the front runner for now, especially because of the way she comes in the video, talks to you, and then when she goes back out, she kind of looks back over her shoulder, and something about that seems suspicious. Okay, so now let's talk about these posters. We first have to look at Bryce's. So his points out in the newspaper text that we see a bridge, so it feels like maybe something happened on the bridge. Did he fall over the bridge? Was he pushed over the bridge? Hit by a car on a bridge? We don't know just yet, but it seems like a bridge is a very important part. Then if you go to Justin's poster, his newspaper clippings bring up his past drug use, the time he spent in juvie, and that he testified against Bryce in court. So that, of course, could be some motive for, having beef with Bryce. Plus, he may still have feelings for Jessica after that hookup at the school dance, which means he would want to protect Jessica. Now, what about Monty's poster? Now, his poster brings up many accusations of bullying, and it says that he was last seen antagonizing Bryce on the football field at the homecoming game. So what caused these former friends to be enemies? Well, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things, but we know that Monty is pretty violent and he could turn on his former friend in an instant. Plus, trash talk on a football field, you say the right things to someone to get them going, a fight could break out. Tyler's poster shows a picture of a bridge, and from Bryce's poster, we do know that the bridge plays a part in this murder, so is that pointing to Tyler having something to do with it? Tyler's poster also points out that he was a loner and bullied by jocks like Bryce for years. Moving on to Chloe, who is the only character who is crying in her poster. Now we gotta wonder, is this a real tear or maybe crocodile tears? We learn she is no longer a cheerleader and has been getting close with Zach Dempsey, which we saw in the trailer. Now this secret relationship or new relationship could cause problems for Bryce, or for Bryce to be mad with her and Zach, since they're exes and ex-best friends. Also, since she's no longer a cheerleader, was that because she had to take the 8 months off to have a baby? What? But we'll have to wait on that one. Next up, let's look at Tony's poster. His shows that he's been convicted of a prior felony and has 2 strikes, which we learned in Season 2. And also that he's recently been absent from school. So where on earth has Tony been? Has he been absent because he's been helping Tyler with, his escape, or keeping Tyler out of trouble? Or is it something else? Tony seems to have a lot of skeletons in his closet we haven't yet learned about. As for Jessica's poster, they have her saying she will take down the jocks and openly talks about taking down rapists and getting justice for victims like herself. So that obviously could be motive for Jessica to want to take down Bryce or to have an encounter with Bryce. There's also on her poster some handwriting that says, "Sorry, Jess." Now, could that be a note from Bryce attempting to apologize for some reason? It is a note from Justin, and who is that a note from? Who's saying sorry to her? Then we have Alex's poster, which reinforces his dad is, of course, a sheriff, and it seems like, as the trailer shows, Alex has been instigating fights and having violent outbursts. Now, is this a result from his brain damage from his shooting, or is it something else? We have seen some personality changes in him. But what is really fueling these violent outbursts. Monty must have something to do with it. Is it his way of getting justice, whereas Jessica might be fighting in a non-violent way? Is Alex trying to get justice fighting in a violent way? We'll have to see. But now let's look at the new girl, Ani's poster. Now it says her criminal history is unknown, which seems kind of interesting because when you think about a high school kid, you're not really looking for a criminal history because most of them probably wouldn't have any. So the fact that this is pointed out makes me feel like maybe she has been up to something. She's super mysterious. Where did she come from? Why would this be pointed out that her past criminal history is unknown? Doesn't mean it doesn't really exist, right? We also see that it says Ani is close to Clay and Jessica, which is also mentioned in the video from the website by Detective Standall. So what is her relationship to these two and why does she get close to them? Well, let's look at Clay's poster now. His also says the word bridge, and we see that Clay was seen threatening Bryce Walker prior to the disappearance, and we see that he's been known to have something. Now, the paper doesn't give us the rest of that been known to have, but maybe it's violent outbursts like Alex. I feel like that could be believable, especially with how we see Clay in this trailer clenching his fists, looking like he wants to, well, hurt somebody. But essentially we have every character having a reason. As the poster states, everyone has a reason to get rid of Bryce, but did anybody actually do it? Was it somebody who doesn't have a character poster? Kind of felt like, you know, if Bryce has gone to a different school, he wouldn't have as much interaction with these people, except maybe at the one football game that they play against each other. But it seems like this is proving differently. Like, he's had other interactions with these students, enough that it would cause even more animosity towards Bryce, because it's 8 months after the events of the season 2, something had to happen to just keep fueling hatred towards Bryce. Now, as I mentioned before, there are other characters you could have clicked on as suspects, including Ryan, Caleb, Courtney, Mr. Porter, Mrs. Baker, and Mrs. Walker. Now, like I said, they didn't get posters, but maybe that's a misdirect, and it could be one of them, because many people, like I said, seem to think it's Mrs. Walker, so we'll see. But for now, I am going to sit and stew over all of this information. Hopefully we'll get some more teases between now and August 23rd so we can piece together some clues. But if they don't drop anything, August 23rd, the show comes out. I will be trying to binge watch it as fast as I can and doing some theories, breakdowns, and all of that. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss those. But let me know your comments, thoughts, and theories about who may have killed Bryce Walker and why. And yeah, come back. I got more videos about 13 Reasons Why right over here, including the Season 4 news and the trailer breakdown. I'm Lisa. Thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.